North Central Ohio's first and only volleyball show is back, baby, and it's time for the block party right here on the OH Report. My name is Jonathan Langdon. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I did call in some backup. Our buddy Travis Berardi is also hanging out with us here today for episode 5 of the block party. Trav, how you doing?
I'm good. As you can see, I'm in my nice suite here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This looks like Pittsburgh, right? No, it's actually Hong Kong, whatever. But hey, glad I could help because we have a big week of volleyball coming up. It's state tournament time, my man.
Absolutely, and it's going to be fun breaking all of this down with you. We've got a couple of things to handle with first, as the All-Ohio teams came out in Divisions 1 through 7, and it's coming to you today thanks to Bob and Bob Dorr, our exclusive sponsor for the block party. Let's go ahead and take a look at Division 1 to kind of start things off here. Of course, Trav, we don't cover too many bigger schools, but I do want to shed light on some stars. Emma Sagino is a senior out of Olentangy Orange. She'll be playing in Dayton this weekend. We might get a chance to see her. She is committed to Texas to play as a libero for that squad.
Yeah, hook 'em horns there in the Big 12, but she also, her teammate Elizabeth Chauvelin down there also with Olentangy Orange going to be playing down in Dayton this week. But I mean, this is the best of the best. This is Division 1 volleyball. So if you make this list, you are quite the volleyball athlete in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, Kelly Combs at the top there, also headed to North Carolina State, NC State. If you say that here in this area, you may think North Central State, but
yes,
no, it is North Carolina State where Callie is going to be going to play college volleyball. Let's move on to the second division. So Division 2 with the All-Ohio first team and some sisters hitting this list with Anthony Wayne, one of the more dominant volleyball teams, not just in Ohio, but in probably the Midwest region, because they are a dominant 25-1, and Leah and Mallory both going to Ball State to play college next year. They lead that group.
How cool is that, having, you know, two sisters going to the same place? You think they're going to room together at Ball State? You think they're going to room together down at the hotel in Dayton, because Anthony Wayne's one of the favorites to win that Division 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And then right underneath them, you see Sarah Snowbarger, someone in the area with Worcester, one of the greatest careers ever in that Worcester volleyball program. She is also going to be headed to play in college volleyball at Indiana. How about that?
That's pretty good. A lot of high quality volleyball athletes. We always talk about soccer and how great it is, but the volleyball is high quality in Ohio too. And like you've shown here in the first 2 divisions, at least some D1 athletes moving on.
Yeah, and there's some more in Division 3. Let's go ahead and jump over to the first team there. And we know one of them pretty darn well, Ava Brown from Lexington, towards the top in the All-Ohio first team.
And she was one of the most well-spoken interviews I had this year on the volleyball court. She's ready and primed to move on to Division 1 volleyball there, but she's just so good. It was a shame that they lost that close match to Shawnee, because I really believe Lexington could have had a chance of going to state this year.
And we don't have a graphic for the other teams in this division, but shout out also Tatum Stover, Bella Temple, also All-State, All-Ohio honorees, and then also some Dover players. So OCC representing in Division 3.
Yeah, that's right, because Dover, everybody but football is in the OCC this year, but the Dover Tornadoes there, represented by Caroline Hanner, the senior for them.
All right, Division 4 is next for us, as we have a new team that we've started covering on the OH Sport. We'll talk about them later on, but how about their star, Alia Schoonover. Alia Schoonover from Buckeye Valley. She's headed to Ohio State, as she is an All-Ohioan in the second team in Division 4.
Yeah, I mean, staying in state at Ohio State it's quite the accomplishment, being able to play probably for a team you've grown up rooting for. But Buckeye Valley making some history this year because of the play from her that we'll see, Thursday morning.
Yeah, so they're going to be heading over to Dayton for their first ever Final Four run. So shout out to Alia, and then also her sister Leah, who both lead that team, much like the Anthony Wayne Generals we talked about before. But they are going to be playing at Dayton, and we're going to get a chance to talk about them later on in the show. Heading over to Division 5, how about Kamryn Cocherl, who's someone that you've gotten to see quite a bit, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, she is just such a great volleyball player. I got to see her freshman year when they knocked off Fredericktown for a district championship, and that was her kind of coming out party. But you got to remember, this Pleasant squad, they're still young. They have, Cocherl only a junior, one of only 2 juniors on this first-team All-Ohioan list from Division 5. The other one actually being Taylor Mathis, who I saw from Triway, a very good player there. But Cocherl is just such a solid athlete, such a solid player all around for the Lady Spartans. She is that leader that has them back in the state Final Four after last year's state runner-up finish.
Yeah, you see Pleasant taking on Willard in those highlights there, and someone else who is in that highlight is Willard's Cam Weirs, who also comes away on the 3rd team in Division 5, so shout out to Cam as well. Going to be a hooper. We'll get to see her quite a bit for basketball season coming up. But let's go ahead and move on to Division 6. And how about Division 6 this year? Very competitive towards the top in Northwest Ohio especially, but someone, as you see, basically everybody here on this list is from Northwest Ohio.
I mean, New Bremen, St. Henry, both powerhouse volleyball squads. Tenora, who knocked off Monroeville last year. They knocked off Buckeye Central this year right there. You got Patrick Henry Coldwater in there as well. So yeah, the MAC is well represented. Also, Brenna Leach from Shenandoah down the OVAC, one of the few ones not out of the Northwest area to get there. But also got to shout out, Sarah Geibel from Dayton. She is a 2nd team All-Ohioan there. Buckeye Central's Maren McDougal made 3rd team All-Ohio as well. Congratulations to her. And then Seneca East, Bryn Meyer, honorable mention All-Ohioan with Maya Geiser from Dayton.
Yeah, Maren McDougal was on the 3rd team, as you mentioned, and what a great season she had, along with the rest of Buckeye Central squad that we got to follow pretty much all of this season.
Yeah, I mean, what a great district championship that they had against Van Buren. Played their best ball, and just a slow start against Tenora, or I thought they really could have had a chance there. You called that match out there. They faced one of the best teams in the state there and just was unable to hold on, but still a great run for the Buckettes of Buckeye Central.
And then shout out also to Tenora, who had a fantastic game there, but their season ended right after in 4 sets to New Bremen, a team that'll be playing, and we'll get to see later this weekend as well. Let's jump over to Division 7 because we've got a lot of names, and you're going to notice
yes, we do.
A lot more highlighted in green on the screen, as a lot of Calvert, a lot of Monroeville, some Mohawk as well with Biz Klopp.
Yeah, and Biz Klopp, let's talk about her and just the phenomenal 4 seasons she had. She nearly alone brought Mohawk back from 2 sets to none down in that district championship match, which actually should have been a regional. It was. We can just dub it right now, the regional championship, because the winner of that was going to win the regional, and that was the Lady Eagles from Monroeville. But Biz Klopp brought her squad back against Monroeville, nearly got the win. Monroeville got it anyway, but just the job she's done over the last 4 years. Northern 10 championships, district runners-up. Phenomenal season for her.
And also Bella Borgio and Bryn Dirksen from Calvert head up that list, along with Addie Holman from Monroeville, a team that we'll get to follow this weekend as well, as they get themselves back into the state Final Four for the first time since 2021. And then you jumped over to some other players that are further down the list, 2nd team, 3rd team. You've got Alexa Adams on the 2nd team. I believe Kalazewski also on that 2nd team from St. Paul. Yep, there she is, Ella. And then some other players from St. Paul, Annie Friend, an honorable mention, along with Reber for Monroeville. So those two are kind of bouncing back and forth between honors.
Kind of surprised Addie Adams did not make the All-Ohioan list, but I mean, Madison Reber 1 kill away from 1,000. Hopefully we'll be able to see that on Thursday in their state semifinal. But Calvert, the #1 team in the state, undefeated. They're led by 2 really solid players, a setter in Dirksen and Borgio, the outside here, both juniors too. I mean, there's, I believe, only 2 or 3 seniors for Calvert. This is just the train that keeps rolling from back in 2018 when Coach Rombach started to take that squad over, and they just continued to produce All-Ohioan after All-Ohioan, and they'll take on another All-Ohioan first team in Chloe Trivoli out of Tuscarawas Central Catholic on Thursday night.
Well, shout out to every single player that got All-Ohio honorees from Division I all the way down to Division 7. Congratulations to you. We do have another honoree that we're about to talk about, and it's the Coach of the Year in Division 7. Travis got to talk to Coach Lori Rombach.
I have the pleasure of being joined by the coach of the #1 team in Division 7, the Division 7 Coach of the Year by the Ohio Volleyball Coaches Association. That is Lori Rombach of the Calvert Lady Senecas. Coach, thank you for joining us today as you guys prepare for yet another Final Four. And first off, congratulations on the regional championship. If you would let me just for a moment just go through all the accolades of not only you but your squad since you took over in 2018. 208 wins, 15 losses overall. That's over 25 wins per year. This year's D7 Coach of the Year, 5 Coaches Achievement Awards, but the biggest one, your players. 8 first-team All-Ohioans, 5 second-team All-Ohioans, 5 third-team All-Ohioans, and 2 honorable mention All-Ohioans. And folks, only the last 2 years was at D7. The rest were in D4. So I just have to start off, Coach. How have you been able to be so consistent over all of these years? I believe 4 losses was the most you've had since you took over in one season at Calvert.
Well, thanks for that introduction, Travis. I appreciate that. Calvert's a special place, and I feel blessed to be able to be there and lead this group of girls and these athletes every year. So, yeah, we have a lot of great athletes. We have a lot of good support, and it seems like, every year we kind of just rebuild and come back at it and give our best shot every year. So it's been a good run, and we're not done yet. So we're going to keep things going.
I mean, you guys had not made a state Final Four, state championship appearance before you made it there in 2018. I believe that's what I read. But I mean, just how are you able to, what's in the water in Tiffin that you just had the consistency of all these really good volleyball players just continue to come through here? Is that a feeder system? Is that, like AAU, fall ball, summer ball? Just what's allowed you to get just such great players at Calvert over your 8 seasons?
Yeah, sorry, my dog's probably barking at the mailman.
He's excited.
You can hear him. He's excited, yeah. Yeah, Calvert, or in Tiffin, we have, there's, a great volleyball club in the area, Black Swan. And quite frankly, over the years, the girls have, not only played at Black Swan, but they're playing at other clubs in the area. So, we have athletes that have played club volleyball for years, and, are getting better on their club teams and then come together for school ball. And really, that's when it gets fun. That's when you take all these athletes that have had great successes on their club teams and then try to bring them all together and sometimes use them in different positions than what their club's coaches use them for, and build a team and make a run for something special. So Tiffin has a lot of great athletes across the board. Our public school, Tiffin Columbian in town, they made it regionals this year as well in volleyball. So there's a lot of good volleyball up here.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're playing at your alma mater, Tiffin Calvert. Just what's that been like, just coming back after playing there and now leading your team, 2 state championships, 2 runners up, and you're still undefeated, the #1 team this season?
Yeah, I'm so proud to be able to be the coach at Calvert. And I love the sport of volleyball. I played it in college as well. And but even more than the sport of volleyball, I just love Calvert. I think it's a great school. It's a great thing. We have a great thing going, what we're doing. And I'm proud to be able to be coaching, at the place where I played. It's always fun and interesting when, you talk to people from back in the 90s when we played. And, I think they're more excited than even the athletes that are there right now, because they have a perspective of, how awesome and how exciting it is to be able to take a team to state and to have some success.
I want to ask you a couple of questions about you playing volleyball. When did you first start playing volleyball? When did you think maybe this is something I could be successful at?
As an athlete?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was probably, club was just getting started back when I was in high school. Dave Reinhardt, who was the 5-time state championship coach at Hopewell Loudon back in the 90s, he started the Black Swamp Club, which is now run by Jason Miller in Tiffin here. But Dave, I played for him in high school. I think I was maybe a sophomore or junior in high school. And that's kind of when I started playing. And I played all 3 sports in high school. And I just loved volleyball. I knew when I went to college, I wanted to go to a small college. I'm 5'6", so I wasn't going to be playing at D1 anywhere or D2. So I wanted to go to a small school, and and I ran track as well, and so I was trying to find a school where I could do both.
Yeah, I was reading up on you when you took over at Calvert, and you were a very successful long jumper, and you actually wanted to go to a school where you could do both. And I believe it was Brown. You asked them, and they kind of laughed at you, saying, "No, you can't do both." But then you finally landed at the college that you went to and did that. Yeah. But how important is it, I guess, to have multiple sport athletes on your squad? I mean, one, it doesn't burn them out because they're focused on multiple sports, and two, it kind of keeps them in shape.
Yeah, I don't think it's there's not one answer for every athlete. I think it's different for everyone. I think it's fantastic for our school if you can have girls doing multiple sports. It's very rare anymore to have 3 sport athletes. It's just, things are just different now. But it's awesome for our school to have kids involved in all 3 of the seasons. But in the same regard, if you have an athlete that wants to go on and play volleyball in college, the club circuit is pretty necessary. That's where the majority of the recruiting happens. And so it's not a one-fit answer for everyone, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Some players probably like just doing it just with one sport. They love doing it. I just know I was at a small school, did multiple sports. I think I enjoyed it more because I wasn't just focused on one, and it didn't get me burned out. Successful at track, successful at volleyball in your college career. But when did you realize you wanted to coach?
Well, I started coaching my daughters when they were in CYO, and I love coaching. I think it's just something that I'm naturally drawn to. I was always a leader in high school and in college. I'm just a leader type of person. I like to take charge of things. When I started coaching the girls when they were younger, and then got to junior high, and I'm like, I like this. I kind of like it, and threw my hat in the ring in 2018, going into that season to coach at high school. I really didn't have any high school coaching experience at that point. Was just coaching junior high and the kids when they were younger, and we just figured it out, grinded, and that was a magical year for us. It was an epic group of girls, and we had just a really, really fun ride in 2018.
I'm gonna name some names from around the area that you might know. You said Dave Reinhardt, Nancy Miller, Dawn Wood, Nancy Hoover, Grace Hutchinson, and Nancy Hanger, all coaches around the area up there, all over 500 wins. Did you take anything from them? Did you go reach out kind of these coaches and ask, some tips or anything like that? Or do you just roll with what you've learned in your playing career?
Well, Don Wood and I have been, friendly and scrimmaged over the years, and obviously he's a great resource. And I have a really good relationship with him. Dave Reinhardt was my mentor. Dave Reinhardt, he was in my parents' wedding, which is kind of a random fact.
Oh, wow.
But my parents were good friends with Dave. But so he knew me actually as a little kid. But as I grew into a coach, he was definitely a mentor of mine. And during 2018, 2020, he and I were on the phone quite a bit. He actually was one of our speakers in 2018 at our team dinner before we went to state for the first time. He brought a couple of his athletes from Hopewell that were on the state championship team as well and spoke to us. So yeah, Dave was probably someone that I turned to quite a bit for advice and help. I'll never forget in 2018, I was having an issue with some things, and I was talking to him. It was right before our tournament run started, and he gave me some advice. And I followed. I'm like, it sounded crazy. I'm like, you want me to do what? I'm never going to do that. He's like, trust me. And so I took his advice, and it's something that has helped me, over the years, time and time again. So, and since his passing, I would text his daughter, and I'm like, I really wish I had your dad's phone number right now. I have a couple questions I need to ask him, but he was definitely a mentor of mine.
Yeah, and of those names, only one, Dawn Wood, still in the coaching reins, was in a regional final just last week, but it's It's Dawn, it's you, and it's also Kendra Snook, who's in the first state semifinal. Just is that like a badge of honor that you're taking the reins from these legends and kind of building on? Because you're one of the fastest coaches to get to 200 victories only in 8 seasons. Kendra's over 150, I believe, for herself. But is it something that you'd like, a badge of honor, that now it's this new generation of coaches that are taking over from all of these legends?
Yeah, I think it's really an honor to be influencing, the sport of volleyball and these young athletes. I mean, I don't really get too caught up in the wins and where I am and all that stuff. I think for our program, I'm happy for that. But those are the coaches. Nancy at Old Fort, and they laid the path for all of this. And so it's exciting to be able to carry the torch and to continue to influence kids, make a difference in our schools. And we've had a lot of really good examples to follow. So it is a badge of honor, I would say.
All right, enough about you, Coach. Let's talk about your team now.
You're undefeated. That's a great idea.
You're undefeated. You're the number 1 team in the state. You're back down in Dayton, and you've only lost 4 sets. One of them you won in 5 sets. That's 2 of them, and then in 2 other matches you lost 1 set. But sometimes, some teams would get complacent because of that. But you guys, completely different. You're up 2-0 in the regional final. You were trailing 16-13 in set 3, but you guys rallied. Do you like having that sort of adversity for your players to just keep them on their toes? You're up 2-0, you're down a little bit, but your team's still able to rally and get the win.
Well, I don't know if I'd say I like it, but it's definitely something that you have to prepare for, you have to welcome, you have to be ready for it. The girls on the team, they always laugh because one of my things is I love adversity. So anything that happens, they're like, "We know, Coach, you love adversity." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's how we get stronger. It's how we grow." So, I think, anyone that doesn't plan for or have an idea what's going to happen when things get going or things start to go bad, you're going to be in trouble. So, I try to keep, a laser tight focus on one game at a time, even during season when you're against some of the weaker opponents. Any team can be beat at any given day. We just have to make sure that, we're showing up on that day. So I truly believe that, and I try to influence that on our team every day that we show up.
Well, your next matchup, you're going against Tuscarawas Central Catholic. I'm from the Ohio Valley. I still can't get that name right. But you're taking on Tuskegee Central Catholic. We'll say that. What's the scouting report on them going into the match on Thursday?
Yeah, I have a hard time saying it as well. So we refer to them as TCC, so we don't sound silly. Yeah, I think, we're at the state semifinal game, so they're obviously a good team. They're 22-5. I don't know much about their opponents. I know the 5 losses that they've had. I don't know much about any of those teams. I will say we've watched, quite a bit of tape on them. Their daughter, I'm thinking it must be the coach's daughter. They have the same last name, but number 11 is their middle hitter, and that's their go-to athlete. She's pretty versatile. She's quick. She hits out in the middle most of the time, and they have a pretty balanced offense and scrappy defense. All the things that we've seen from Miller City, we've seen Kalida. So I'm hoping that we've been prepared, for what we're going to have when we see TCC in the semis.
And you have 4 players over 100 kills, so it doesn't seem like it's that just you go set to one person. But how important is it to have multiple players that you can go for at it? You have a couple of all Ohioans once again this year going at it, but just to have that balance, that has to be so important on the volleyball court.
For sure. And that's something that I'm really proud of on our team. We have several athletes that you said over 100 kills in the season. And, our team is not one that any other coach can say, "Oh, as soon as that girl goes to the back row, we should, be able to get some points here." Because, when Bella goes to the back row, you got Emily coming into the front row. When Karis Marinas goes into the back row, you got Hope Ware coming into the front row. When our setter goes, into the back, we just reload. So It's pretty, it's by design. It's how I coach. It's how I like things to go. And, we're coaching high school athletes. And in the same regard, it's, one of our outsides can have somewhat of an off night because we got two middles and another outside that can pick it up. So it's pretty exciting to have that, those options. And I think it's sometimes hard for athletes to, at first to grab onto that. But this team they've grabbed a hold of it. It's amazing what can be done when you don't care who gets the credit. And at any given day, it could be any one of our hitters that we're gonna feed.
Well, Coach, we look forward to covering you guys down in the semifinal and hopefully at Wright State for the state championship this weekend. But thank you for joining us here on the Block Party, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Travis.
Thank you. Head coach Lori Rombach of the #1 team in Division 7, the Tiffin Calvert Lady Senecas. So I want to thank Coach Rombach once again for that interview. 208-15 in 8 years. That is phenomenal. She's produced also 20 All-Ohioans there. And like I said, taking that baton from some of those legends. And another coach taking that baton up in the Northwest area is Coach Kendra Snook, as Jonathan had a chance to talk to her earlier.
Back in the state tournament for the first time since 2019, the Monroeville Lady Eagles are going to be looking to make some noise here this weekend as we welcome in our next guest, our next coach, who is heading over to Dayton in a couple of days. Coach Kendra Snook is joining us here on the OH Report. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us. I'm so excited to talk with you and about this season that you have had up to this point. 24-2 is your 4th year in a row winning the Firelands Conference. Just kind of give us a summary of how your team is feeling coming up to this point, how you've gone from the first day of the season to here now, and how this team has grown.
I think the kids had a lot of goals coming into this year. Our last time at state was 2022, which they were freshmen, and we were state runner-up. So they had big goals coming in because they wanted to get back to that being their senior year. I have a lot of seniors on this team. There's 6 seniors, and we were returning most everyone. We graduated 3 players from last season in our regional semifinal lost team. So there was lots of big goals, lots of things that we knew we wanted to accomplish. First starting with the Firelands Conference, and we knew it was going to be tough, and it was, but our kids have continued to grow throughout the year. Starting the season 2-2, first week of the season, can be a little bit of frustration, not only from me, but from the kids. But they never let that bother them. We changed the lineup a little bit, we learned from it, and we've been firing on all cylinders since then. So I'm really proud of how they continue to grow. Sometimes it's hard when you're being successful to get the kids to realize that we still need to get better, but they understand that because they still have more goals in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I misspoke there. The first state semifinal for you guys since 2021. We were also there back in 2019. But of course, getting to this point in the tournament, you played some tough teams leading up to this. I remember back to the district tournament when you guys played against Mohawk and then some other regional opponents that you just recently were able to get by. What do you think was special about this specific run that maybe challenged you guys a bit more?
With the new format for the tournament, things got a little bit crazy in the district draw. Teams that we would normally not see, we were seeing. We obviously would have faced Fremont St. Joe and potentially Norwalk St. Paul, which we did not face them. They went the other way. But we normally wouldn't face Mohawk in our district. And that was a team that has been kind of a thorn in our side the past several years. So the fact that we were able to avenge our 5-set loss from earlier in the year was huge for us. And that was after battling a really tough Fremont St. Joe team. So I thought it built the kids' confidence, and they knew that it was going to be a struggle to get out of the district tournament. But, we honestly believe that if we were able to get out of the district tournament, we would have a good shot on being down in Dayton.
Yeah, and we earlier on in the show got to brag on a couple of your players because All-Ohioan honorees came out, and of course a couple of your players are on that list. Can you kind of brag on this group and how individually they have all stepped up as Lady Eagles this year?
For sure. So I'll start with our first team award winner was Addison Holman. She's our libero. She is over 1,000 career digs as just a junior. I fully expect her to potentially break the career record next year. She has broken the single season record in our regional final match. But she just is the person back there that, controls the defense, keeps things alive, has great ball control, and just does it so effortlessly. We've had a lot of great liberos come through Monroeville, and she's definitely one of the best. Our next award winner was Alexa Adams. She was second team. She has been a starter since her freshman year on our state runner-up team. I think she's like 7 or 8 away from 1,000 kills. She's just that person that's been a 3-year captain, which is really hard for a program to have a 3-year captain. So as sophomores, her teammates thought a lot of her. But her leadership, and she just does everything pretty well. She's a great server, obviously one of our offensive weapons, but can defend very well, blocking and playing defense, and has great ball control serving perceive-wise. And our other last honoree was Maddie Reber, who received honorable mention this year. She is 1 away from 1,000, so she got to 999 in the regional finals. But again, one of those kids that is so versatile, can hit in any position, really flies up there and dominates that attack and mixes up her shots. But, those were our 3 All-Ohio Award winners. We have so many other kids. The other one that I'm going to mention, even though she didn't receive All-Ohio honors, is Addie Adams. Again, another 4-year starter with Maddie and Alexa, and she's like 30 away from 1,000. So to have 3 kids in the same class, all close to that 1,000 milestone on kills is absolutely crazy. We've never had that. But these kids have just worked so hard since they've been freshmen, and they continue to get better and better. And Addie's one of those kids that can score offensively, and in the past few matches has really taken over at the service line as well.
Well, you mentioned Maddie Reber and her 999 kills. She's going to get that 1,000th, and it's going to be at the biggest stage over in Dayton, and it's going to be against a team in Russia. That's not too far from you guys, as you will face off there. But talk to me about the approach coming in. What do you know about Russia so far, and what are you guys looking forward to seeing once you get out on the same court as them?
We're going to approach it with the kids how we've approached it all year long. We got to control our side of the net. So if we can focus on our ball control and we can get in system, we have a lot of weapons to stop, and we're going to be able to hopefully be effective with being able to use all of those weapons. But we want to make sure that our kids are relaxed and are out there having fun, because it is a game. I do know that they have, again, like I think a trio of hitters, which is similar to us, and a really good middle and outside from what I've seen. They've had a tough regional, having to get through Leipzig, and then it was number 2 in the state, and then Fort Laramie defending state champion. So we know that they're coming off 2 big wins, lots of confidence, and it's going to be a battle. We're just excited that we're able to play the last week of the season. We were invited to come down and play, and so we're excited to be there.
Well, absolutely, and I'm hopeful that we'll get to talk to you again, and it will be for a special state championship edition of the Block Party Show later on after this weekend is over. But just best of luck to you guys the rest of the way. Looking forward to seeing it all unfold in Dayton this weekend. Going to give you the floor one final time. Go ahead and give any shout outs you want.
All right, I want to shout out all of Monroeville. Thank you guys so much for all of your support all year. Our student section the last few matches have been great. Put all those miles, like I think I said to Travis before, put all those miles on your card this weekend. Get down to Dayton on Thursday to cheer on the Eagle volleyball players, and then back to Monroeville to cheer on those Eagle football players. I also want to have a huge shout out to my team and my coaching staff. They have been awesome all year. They continue to work hard, and couldn't do it without them. And of course to my family, who's awesome. Couldn't do this without them. And hopefully you'll be able to see Mallory again, because she only comes on after wins.
Absolutely. We always love the conversations with Mallory at the end of fantastic wins, and we're hoping to see one later this week. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time again. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Shout out again to Coach Snook, who had a chance to talk with us a few moments ago. Very great to talk to her every single time that we get a chance to cover their games. Of course, Mallory gets to come in and join after every single win. I know Travis enjoys that as well. But talk about these two teams, Travis. That could be potential opponents that we just talked to both of their head coaches with.
I mean, we all want that to happen. I even, before the interview with Coach Rombach, I said, who do you want to play in the finals? She's like, one at a time. Like, we're not even on the interview, and they're still talking about coach speak. But, I mean, who doesn't want Monroeville and Calvert? I mean, Monroeville's running on the 21-game win streak right now. Or 22, I should say, game win streak. Calvert's undefeated. I mean, this is the matchup that everybody wants, with power hitters on both sides, multiple 150, 200 kills leaders on each side, liberos that can just dig anything, setters that are accurate. That is the matchup that everybody wants at Wright State. But first, both teams will have to play. We'll have Monroeville taking on Russia. Again, this Russia Raiders always taking on one of our area teams in a semifinal from Butler High School at 6 o'clock. And then we will have the Calvert Tuskegee Central Catholic match right afterwards. And hopefully those two will meet Saturday at, I believe, 4 o'clock at Wright State, Jonathan. But these, I mean, we just looked at the All-Ohio teams, and so many of these names from these squads are on those squads.
Yeah, talk about two fantastic programs that are in our area that we get to cover a lot when it comes to this time of year. Well, we've got two more teams that we're going to be covering this weekend at the state tournament, and they, in fact, are 15 miles apart from each other. You'll get to hear all about that at the end of the break here on the OH Report with the Block Party, presented by Bob and Bob Dorr.
The Block Party, North Central Ohio's only volleyball show, is presented live and free to fans by the door experts at Bob and Bob Door Company, dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and reliable service for over 56 years. And now, let's get you back to the Block Party, streaming exclusively on OH Report.
Some of the best plays from the tournament have hit the shelf. Who will make it to the top on our Top Shelf Highlight, presented by Bob and Bob Dorr. Our first play comes from Ontario's Annie Weaver in the game of her life. This was just one of the seniors' 31 kills in a win over Norwalk. Play number 2 takes us to Willard, where Tiffin Columbian's Kayla Jenkins unloads on a poor Arrow defender. Watch again as this powerful swing helped the Tornadoes advance in the district tournament. We couldn't let AJ Jury end her career without a Top Shelf nomination. Look at the finesse on this ball that sneaks past Sonora in Buckeye Central's final game of the season. The second team All-Ohioan brings us play number 4 as Alexa Adams gets crafty at the net. The dink kickstarts Monroeville's surge back to the state tournament. Shawnee brought the energy to Liberty Benton thanks to their sophomore Gianna Upshaw, who sent the Lady Indians to their 3rd straight regional tournament. Leah Weiss did not hold back with play number 6 as she pummels this ball off the head of an Otsego defender. This point gave Willard their first lead of the night that they would not give back to the Knights on their way to a district title. We head to New Washington, where Mansfield Christian displayed some late-stage heroics. Mackenzie Webb scoops up the first contact, and Adele Kramer sends away the second ball. This fueled a 10-point comeback in the set 3 to secure the sweep over New London. We wrap up our list with Northridge's McKenna Ellis, who started our tournament coverage with a bang in sectionals. She used the tape perfectly to bounce this ball around the Centerburg defense in a 5-set thriller that went the Lady Vikings' way. That was your list of shelf-worthy highlights. Who will make it to the top? Leave a comment down below for your favorite play of the bunch, presented by Bob and Bob Dorr.
The Block Party, North Central Ohio's only volleyball show, is presented live and free to fans by the door experts at Bob & Bob Door Company. Dedicated to providing fast, friendly, and reliable service for over 56 years. And now, let's get you back to the block party, streaming exclusively on OH Report.
Well, the Central District is well represented this year at the OHSVCA State Volleyball Tournament this weekend, and two of the teams, in fact, are 15 miles apart from each other, and we're going to talk about both of them here on the Block Party. I'm Jonathan Langdon alongside Travis Berardi. We're going to give you the breakdown on Buckeye Valley, a team that is making their first ever appearance to the state tournament this weekend, and we will be there to cover them live and free this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, what a run by Buckeye Valley, and we're just so grateful to have them, right down the road from us at Lexington to be able to cover them, and then their fan base just so excited about having us not only for their first ever football home playoff game, but then the day after for volleyball to get down to state, and we're excited to see what they can do. And Alia Schoonover is just a stud when it comes to the volleyball court. 375 kills for her. But my question for you, Jonathan, do they have enough complementary pieces around them to keep the run going?
Well, Coach Randy Haas decided to answer that question for me. He couldn't join us on the show today, but he did send me a little write-up that I'm going to go ahead and start reading off for you here today, Trav, because I know a lot of us here aren't too familiar with Buckeye Valley. We're excited to jump on late and get to follow them this weekend, but this is what he had to say, and it starts out as this. As you said kind of earlier, Travis, Buckeye Valley has probably been Googled a few more times than normal this past week or two. They're located out in the country, and our colors are brown and yellow, which many refer to as corn and dirt. So I already like this guy already.
Yeah.
When I first got to BV to coach 5 years ago, of course, again, this is from Randy's perspective, I didn't like the colors or that it was out there, but now I am proud to coach there. It's the people, the community, the constant hospitality that I've seen in almost everyone I've met. There is a true sense of community that is also displayed daily through the volleyball girls. Most every player thanks the coaching staff after practice every day. That's the attitude at BV. They expect to work hard and are thankful for the opportunity. This season, the girls have learned to accept their roles on the team, play together, and love each other on the court. When I see them pray before every match, that is a win to me before they ever blow a whistle. There's also a lot of talent on this Buckeye Valley squad. Many, if not everyone, plays club, working on volleyball most of the year. Many of those have traveled out of state to compete in volleyball. Alia Schoonover, who we mentioned before, Travis, has been playing club for many years and has been on teams that have been the national champions on several occasions. Taylor Harning, Delaney Lozier, Peyton Loading, Kinsley Wood, Paige Blue, Kate Manning, Claire Walters, and Leah Schoonover all play club in the off season. So this is a seasoned squad, Travis, that knows competitive volleyball just through club. That's really how this has been built together.
Absolutely, and that's what you see with the Northwest District teams too, like the Norwalks, the Columbians, the Calverts, Monroeville. They have the Black Swamp up there, and that club volleyball squad that just continues to produce, and actually it produced a few D2 national champs because some St. Paul Flyers actually came down to Wheeling Jesuit in 2015 and won a national championship in D2 that I got to call. So yeah, club ball is so important now, Jonathan, just to give them that experience. It's equivalent to AAU basketball, and you see those high school squads with a bunch of AAU players. They usually make it down to Dayton for the state Final Four as well. This team, I mean, they're scrappy. Not a ton of blocks on the season. They have two setters on the squad, so they can go with that two-set setup at times. And then with Schoonover with over 300 kills, it seems like they're just a scrappy squad that if you can get a couple other people getting 5 to 10 kills in a match, they're unbeatable.
Yeah, and then Coach also sent me something about their matchup this Thursday afternoon. In fact, they play Marlington, number 17 team in Division 4. He said they're going to be tough. They're a very disciplined team that doesn't make many mistakes. Combine that with a gifted setter and 2 dominant hitters that can hit from anywhere on the court. They also have great ball control in the back row. That's what the scouting report has kind of said so far for him. All 4 teams that are left have a lot of talent like Marlington, but they have been in this situation before because, of course, Travis, we saw them beat Shelby last year in a state Final Four.
Yeah, in 4 sets. So sometimes also it's the experience factor. I saw this in a regional championship for D7 Monroeville over Open Door Christian. Open Door Christian had never made it to a regional championship match, and it kind of showed early on their best players hitting into the net, kind of just being a little off of what they usually do. So that experience, I mean, I guess it's where you got to play club ball. Those national championship matches there for your club may come in handy, but the Final Four is just a different animal. And if you make it there, you're there for a reason. So you got 4 squads that could win a state championship. You have to bring your A game.
So best of luck to Buckeye Valley. Excited to be on the call for that Thursday afternoon at noon as they take on number 7 Marlington. Let's go ahead and move on 20 minutes north and talk about those Pleasant Ladies Spartans who have also been here before.
Yes, they have.
Quite a bit, just like Marlington. Both teams were up in Dayton last year. However, Pleasant got all the way to that championship game, and here they are trying to get right back where they were last season.
Yeah, and I mean, they have pretty much everybody back too, and they'll have everybody back for next year as well. This is just the monster that is Pleasant. Like I said, with Cocherl freshman year, they won a district championship and then ran into St. Henry in a regional, but then last year all the way to the state championship match with a bunch of sophomores and juniors, and now all juniors and then 3 sophomores on this squad. But Cocherl 519 kills, and then you have 4 other players with over 100 kills, so there's more of that balance on this squad, and they have 162 total blocks. They're about average when it comes to blocks. This is just a very good squad that I believe peaked early. This might have been the year that you think maybe this is the time that they would get to the Final Four, but no, it was last year they made that run. So they are a battle-tested squad and probably one of the favorites, but they still have a tough Final Four and state championship match because Division 5 is just so tough.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be playing number 4 New Lexington as the number 8 team in Division 5. So got to wish best of luck to Pleasant as they go in as underdogs for the first time, I think ever this season. They haven't really had any competition that has been past them thus far. You look at their tournament run, they beat Liberty Union to start things out in a sweep. They swept Afrocentric. They went to 4 sets with Johnstown Monroe along with Willard. Then they swept Huron in the regional championship game. And here they are now taking on a New Lexington squad that comes in 25-2. They finished second in their conference, so they're hungry, just like Pleasant is after they split that MOAC title, losing in a sweep to Highland late in the season.
Yeah, and that was after, you said, I think one match they might have been not favored. Now, it was probably the first match against Highland, but they won that in 4 sets. And to come back, late in the year, that loss to Highland might have woken them up too, because after that loss, they'd only lost 3 sets since. 1 to Fredericktown, 1 to Johnstown Monroe, and 1 to Willard, like you said. So, sometimes, coaches don't want you to lose. You want to be like Calvert, being undefeated heading into the Final Four, but sometimes that loss late in the season kind of helps you out because it resets your team, awakens them, and turns them into a different monster.
And also one of my hot takes when it comes to volleyball is I think it's the hardest sport to go undefeated in. What do you think? Yes, because you have to, not only, it's not like you got to win 1 set and you win the match. You have to win 3 sets each night to do it. Calvert did it for a state championship a few years ago, and they're trying to do it again this year, but they have a tough test in Monroeville that wants to knock them off, who's won 22 straight, and maybe even Tuscarora with Central Catholic as well. But I'd say that. That or, I don't know about soccer. It's tough. Any sport, it's tough to go undefeated, but for volleyball, you have 30 matches, and you have to be perfect in each of them, winning 3 sets each. I'd say volleyball is a tough one. Yeah, absolutely, because some of the top teams that we're going to see this weekend have losses under their belt, mostly to other teams that are also in Dayton. So when you get to the top level, it's anybody's game, and that's what we're excited for this weekend, because that can mean some of our local teams could pull off some upsets and get some big wins as well. Travis, wrapping up the show here today. Also want to give a shout out to Coach Corey Ute. Tried to join us on the show today, just couldn't make it work. But hopefully they can get themselves a state title, and we can have her back on for the special episode 6 title edition, which is definitely going to be coming depending on the results this weekend. But Travis, wrapping up, do you want to just kind of give a rundown of our coverage at Dayton coming up this week?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts out on Thursday night. Thursday night we have, not night, it's actually Thursday afternoon. We'll have Buckeye Valley at, hold on. My schedule just reset on me right there. There we go. Marlington versus Buckeye Valley from Wright State University. That's at noon. It's going to be an audio cast only because the NFHS, who we are working with, but not for state volleyball. So folks, don't freak out. Volleyball audio only. So we'd like the radio on during the time of the match, but then right after the match ends, we will have a free restream of the match coming your way from Wright State, and then wait until 6 o'clock. We got Russia Monroeville. The same thing's going to happen, folks. Live and free audio cast. Then right after the match is over, we can show you the whole thing for free, but in a restream. And then at 8 o'clock, another live and free audio cast of Calvert versus Tuskegee Central Catholic. And then after that match is over, again, a free restream for you there. Friday, we're going to take a day off, Jonathan, because we got football, a lot of football, as the teams with byes. Yeah. Days off. Well, not for Monroeville, because Monroeville's football team is playing in the second round. So the volleyball team down at State, hopefully staying down there at State after a win. We'll be watching them on the OH report. But then we get to Saturday. If Buckeye Valley were to win, they'd play at noon again for state championship. And guess what, folks? The same thing as Thursday. I'm not going to repeat myself now. Just rewind and see what it is. They'll play at noon, and then for sure at 4 o'clock, Jonathan, you'll be back at Butler High School as Pleasant takes on New Lexington, and I will be at Wright State, hopefully for the dream matchup of Monroeville and Calvert. Then Sunday, if Pleasant were to win, Jonathan, you can be back down there at Wright State once again at 1 o'clock for the D5 state championship. And then, well, that's it until the all-star match on the 12th of November, and then we're done with volleyball until next year.
It's one of the longest weekends of the year, but it's one of the most gratifying weekends of the year because I love playoff volleyball, and it all comes to an end here in Dayton coming up the next couple of days. Kind of soak it all in if you're a fan of any of these teams still in the mix when it comes to high school volleyball this weekend. Travis, thank you so much for joining me on this special episode. We are going to go ahead and sign on off and get ready for some state tournament action here on the OH Report. Thanks to Bob and Bob Door Company for sponsoring this episode today of the Block Party. We will see you next time with hopefully some state champions here on the OH Report.